Welcome back, survivors. In the last episode, we left off, we needed hematite for crafting more iron ingots. So I basically did the same thing I did in the last episode. I went to a watchtower, a lookout tower, found some points of interest, came to it, and one of them was a mine. Now, I have found a little bit of ore in this mine, mostly limestone, but I was able to find a little bit of hematite in here, but way back in the back of this cave, I wanted to show this. What is the name of this cave again? This is the there it is, King's Hollow Mine East. And deep down in this cave, there was a door that was locked. Let me get back to it. Essentially, just go straight through the cave. There was a zombie. I go past the zombie looking for this mine cart right here, and then follow this tunnel back to the very back of the cave. There's the hematite we found. There was like two of those back here, and then there's this little tent, and it's got a little bit of loot. I haven't looked yet. 9mm rounds, some arrows, nothing we really need. We'll take the canned food. A sleeping bag, that may be useful. Another pickaxe, good, we'll need that. Hiking backpack, which I think the one... Is that better than what we have? We have the gym bag, which holds 75 pounds. The hiking backpack holds 100 pounds, so that is slightly better. Let me get that upgrade. Replace the gym bag with the hiking backpack, so we've got a better... we can carry more stuff now. Bean soup, canned herring. I'm just basically going to go for canned food in case we need it in the winter. I don't need any compression bandages, but I grabbed it. GPS, we'll grab that for a spare just in case. Now, we could sleep in this sleeping bag and set a spawn point. Ooh, 12 gauge rounds. Yeah, I'll take that. A couple boxes of those. Nice, nice. We could spawn at that sleeping bag, sleep there. What else is over here? A cowboy hat, a shotgun. I feel like I've already got like 3 of those shotguns. A shovel, I've got a couple of those. All right, I don't need any of that. A campfire. So somebody holed up in this place. Bauxite. I don't think I've mined any bauxite, and I don't remember which one does which. Like which ore. Let me add that to my hot bar. And let me see. Bauxite. Which one is this? Raw bauxite, an abundant stone commonly used to create aluminum. Okay, so we have to crush it, and we can get bauxite powder and then turn that into aluminum ingots. Might as well mine a little bit of that while we're here, especially since we have the extra carrying capacity now. All right, we can get 16 of these. There we go. But way back here in the backside, more hematite. I might as well grab that. Sorry, getting distracted. This is the thing I actually came for. Distracted by the main quest. Alright, 12 of those, 13. And that is all that's going to have. There was a door, and I'm a little bit turned around now. But there was a door back here. Let's see if we can find it again. Now, this is the way I came in? I don't know. I'm turned around. Let me find this door again. Yeah, this is a dead end. A weak, caved-in wall. I can destroy it, but you need an improved mining tool to do this. Okay, so is that an improved... Can we upgrade our pickaxe or something like that? There was a door. I gotta find it. It was along the right-hand side, so let me go back to where I was and try and follow the right. I think I went a little too far left. Yeah, this... I hear a zombie. Here it is. Here's the door. Okay. So this door says we can pick it, but it's a very tough lock, and we need level 75 lock picking. But since we have the cutting tool we need, we can just destroy that door. And I looted a couple of these crates. Heavy bolts, we're going to need those. Raw bauxite, we need that. A lantern. Lantern typically seen at campsites. We'll take that. We are at our weight limit, but I wanted to see what is back here. We're heading northeast in this cave. I probably... I hope I don't get lost back here. Alright, dead end there. Oh, green material. What is that? Graphite vein. Okay, that's something we'll need later. Some locked explosive boxes. So this is probably going to have dynamite. I think we found one of these in the other cave. Yep, dynamite and dynamite packs, but my inventory's full. All three of these contain dynamite and dynamite packs, so I can't carry any more, unfortunately. Okay, this is just basically, it looks like a dead end, but there's a lot of ore back here. Coal and bauxite. We'll need to make another trip to the truck. The califrite? Calcophrite? Am I saying that right? I don't know. I can't say it. But that's the copper ore. More of that. Some limestone. Okay, so lots of loot back here. Limestone, aluminum scrap, and this graphite powder. I need to come back for the graphite powder and all these ores. Let me go put up my stuff in my inventory. Grab that, and I think we probably got enough hematite to get done what we needed. To get all the ingots. Oh, there's more graphite ore back here. There's like 3 or 4 of them. Okay, so yeah, I need to make a trip back here because we're going to need that later, and it's one of the more rare ores in the game, so I'm glad we found it early. And so we'll have it when we actually need it. Alright, we've got all of our ingots crafted. Everything that I could craft anyways. So I got, let's see, there's the plastic and aluminum. I've got 23 iron ingots, which is not a lot, but it should be enough to get done what we need for this industrial forge today. I'm going to drop those in the crafting station, and we need 12 scrap sheets, 2 pipes, heavy bolts, and 4 reinforced brackets. The sheets, that's what we needed. We need a heavy cutting tool in there. We've got that. We can put it in. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the scrap metal pipes, we needed 2 of those. They are made from ingots directly. And then we need small scrap metal sheets, which are made from regular scrap metal sheets. We need 12 of those. The heavy bolts we already had. Let's see, bolt. We needed, well, 14 of them. I need 15. Oops, one more. Just grab the whole stack, 50 of them, okay. And then that should be our pipes and sheets. There's the pipes. I got 4 scrap metal sheets, so I need to make 8 more of those. And the scrap metal sheets require, reinforced brackets, so I'll just queue up a bunch of those. Alright, and that should be everything to craft this forge. I'm trying to see if I've got enough room in here. It's kind of going to be cramped. But let's see if we can place it outside. So we just got to find a way to squeeze it in here. And there's really not looking like... oh, nope, I can get it right there, but I don't know if I'll be able to access everything. I probably won't be able to access that one in the back. So for now, let's just place it. I wonder if it could replace our other forge. We'll figure that out. Let's just place it right here for now. So we've got it crafted. And then the industrial forge, we can make, plastic ingots, copper ingots, aluminum ingots, the limestone brick. So it can replace the other one, but it can also make high-grade iron ingots and high-grade steel ingots. So the high-grade iron is made from iron ingots and graphite powder, and then the steel ingots are made from high-grade iron ingots and graphite powder, or alternatively, we could use steel scrap, which I think we actually have a little bit, but we don't need steel right now. Okay, so I can actually replace it with this. So let me take my charcoal out. Let me move this for now and see if we can squeeze this one. Actually, that looks a lot bigger than that. I may have to rearrange everything in here. Yeah, I'm going to need to slide that over. So let me open it. Let me turn it off. Let me take everything out of it. And we're going to slide this. Actually, I'm just going to move it out of the way for now. And then we'll put this one in. The industrial forge. We rotate this the way I like it. Oh man, this really takes up a lot of room. I wonder if it's clipping with the ceiling like the other one was. What if I rotated it? Will it fit? That was green for just a second there. I guess that's as good as it's gonna get. It's not exactly where I want it, but... And it's rotated the wrong way, but it's in here and we can move past it. Okay, so that's done. Are stuff respawning in here? I feel like I looted that plastic rake already. It could be because it's not within the cone of our utility cabinet. We may need to build a second utility cabinet. Now the question is, can I squeeze this guy in here and still use it? All right, good, good, good. I put our logs in, turn this back on, because we're going to need a lot more charcoal now. Speaking of, let's grab the charcoal, refill it with a full stack of 50 to make our refined charcoal. And the refined charcoal we're going to use in this for fuel. And this is what we're going to make our high-grade iron from. So iron ingots and graphite powder. Okay, we don't have graphite powder, we just have raw graphite. So we're going to need to grind that. And that probably means we need the ore crusher, which we do finally. We have just enough construction skill. We just hit level 80. So let's pin that, clear everything out. I'm going to need advanced components, copper wire bundles, high-grade iron ingots, and scrap metal sheets. Well, that tells me that there is another way to grind this raw graphite. Probably means we can grind it inside this crafting bench. Let's toss it in here and see. Graphite powder. Okay, you can. So I'll grind up a little bit of that to make our high-grade iron ingots. And then... Oh, I put them all in here. And then we'll get what we need for this ore crusher. Get it set up and built. Crush up all that graphite. And start turning it all into the ingots we need. Alright, finally got everything we need. Let's build this ore crusher. It's supposed to be a more efficient way of crushing all of your ore into the components you need. I'm going to place it in this room. I think right over here will be fine. I wanted it to be kind of close to my forges, but still inside. I don't know which way I should rotate it, though. I guess we could always move it if we don't like it. Let's try it like this. Okay. Ore crusher open, and yeah, you can create the limestone powder, the graphite powder, and the bauxite powder. So you put the ingredients in. All right, we got that bauxite in one of these containers here, raw bauxite. Let's grab it, put the bauxite in, turn it on. There's no sound from the machine. Status is off, so it didn't turn on. Fluid container. Oh, it probably needs fuel or an electrical connection. I'm not seeing any way to connect it to power. So fuel, let's try some gasoline, I guess. I've got some... jerry cans in here. Grab one of those. See if we can fuel it with that. Let's see. Ore crusher. Where's our jerry can? Add fluid. So now it has 352 liters of gasoline. That's what it needed. Okay. So add fuel to it, gasoline, and then turn it on. And it's taking a raw ingredient, either limestone, graphite, or bauxite, and then turning it into that powder. So let's take the last of our remaining... Do I have any more remaining graphite? Raw graphite. I got a little bit. I got 9 left over. Had to turn most of it into powder to make the high-grade ingots in order to make this ore crusher. Oh, I didn't think about that. This should not be inside of our house with it making all this smoke. But there's also not any room inside this. So maybe just put it outside the shed, maybe right over here. And we also need to make another utility cabinet to extend over all of that so that stuff doesn't respawn in there. Oh, it's spitting stuff out. Oh, crap. I think I mentioned that before. You got to be careful if the inventory's full. It dumps everything on the floor. Let me grab everything out of there. Alright, there's all of our bauxite powder off the floor. I guess I'm just going to put it in here for now. Actually, we could put it into the forge and just go ahead and turn it into the ingots, right? Do we have, how many refined charcoal do we have? A little bit, not much. Grab all of that, refined charcoal in there, ignite that, put our bauxite powder in, and we should be getting aluminum ingots now. Give that a couple seconds to heat up. How long? It needs to be at 2,800 degrees. It's currently at about 2,200. So give that a minute. And what else can we do? Oh, we can grind the raw graphite in here. Now that we have all of our bauxite done, let's put our raw graphite in to get graphite powder. That makes more than this. So it is more efficient than crushing it in the... actually, do I have any left in here? No, I don't have any left in here. Okay. It's more efficient. You get more. So if you grind it or crush it in here, you get 3. And if you use the ore crusher, you get 4 powders. So it's a little more efficient that way. There's all of our graphite powder. Turn that off. We don't need to waste any fuel. Just stick the graphite powder, I guess, down here with the rest of it. And then our ingots should be coming out here. Yep, 10 aluminum ingots. Let's grab that. Do we have any more bauxite powder? We could add another stack of that. Alright, we got all of our ingots going. The last thing, seems like there was one other thing we needed to craft. What was it? That's the ore crusher, so that's all the refineries. Oh, workbench, schematic table. Let me pin that on the hub. So we're going to need a couple brackets, some screws, and wood planks. So that's reinforced planks. So that's really easy. Make 2 brackets. Actually, I've already got some. All right, I've got the reinforced metal brackets. Did I not grab them? I did not. There we go. And then reinforced wooden rods. I've got that. Oh, I needed planks, not rods. My bad. So we'll just craft a few of those. Let's see. Reinforced planks. And then we need some screws, which hopefully I've got a few left over in here. Nope, not in there. Not in there. I may be out of screws. This is not good. So the schematic table, I think I'm just going to place it right here. We've got a bunch of schematics, but we can't read them. We don't have the skill for it yet. See, like this one right here, it says requires cooking skill level 30. The schematic table reduces that skill requirement. I think it's in half, actually. So this is a workspace to understand schematics better. Schematics require half the stat requirements when decoded with this workbench. So it basically is going to allow us to read all those skill books much, much sooner. All right, let's make our reinforced wooden planks. We need 15 of those. And then screws, the last screws I have are in here. I've got 157. So we're going to be cutting it pretty close on screws. But we can craft screws, actually, inside this crafting station. They're made from nails. Nails are made from iron scrap. So that's not a big deal. We can make all the screws we need. Just take us a little bit longer to do everything. I guess, while we're waiting on that to craft, I've gained a few levels in things here. So construction, we got up to level 80. There are several we can pick from, perks we can pick from, but I'm going to go with Brick Worker, which reduces the cost of crafting limestone fortifications. I'm going to take that because I feel like that's where we're going to be, is like the next level of defensive fortifications that we craft. Also, our crafting leveled up. We got to level 79 in that. And I think I'm going to go for Innovator. All schematics, regardless of what skill it's for, have their stat level requirements reduced by 5. So let's unlock that. We're definitely going to be able to read most schematics now. Electrical. I am going to go with... Gonna Got two options. We can bank it for an additional point at 100, or we can increase our XP by 25%. Let's go with the increased XP, because electrical is what we need to hotwire vehicles. So I feel like leveling that up a little faster would be better. We got our repair skill up. Clothing you're wearing degrades 25% faster, or weapons you're using degrade 25% slower. Okay, so either clothes or weapons. I'm going to go with weapons. I think that would probably be a little better. All of our weapons degrading less. We also gained a skill point in scavenging. I think I like this quick searcher. It lets us search containers instantly. I'm going to go for that. All right, now that should be enough time. Yep, last reinforced plank is being crafted, and we can craft this schematic bench. Got that. We need screws. Grab the screws, forgot those. All right. And now we'll build the schematic bench, or schematic table. Put it right here. Bam. Okay. It looks just like the repair one. That's a little easy to get them mixed up, I guess. But now let's grab a bunch of these schematics here and see how many we can read. Between the two, between that perk and this schematic table, we should be able to read most of these. So go to the table. I couldn't read any of these right here before. So now we can decode this one. So this is going to give us more recipes. It says sweet bakery items. That one requires level 20 in cooking, so we still can't do that one. This one is an assortment of recipes on how to make some savory home-style dishes. I'll decode that one. This is volume 2 of the same book. I'll decode that one. So now we have learned a bunch of new recipes for cooking, specifically related to various types of sauces and toppings. So we can read that one. Schematic for scissors, we can decode that. Cozy meals for 1, we can decode that. Cozy meals for 2 also. So we have learned a ton of new recipes. Oh, the refrigerator, the fridge schematic, let's read that. And anything else? Oh, excellent cooking volume 1, let's decode that. The only thing we can't do yet is this daring desserts. We need to be level 30. It's 60 normally, or 55 in our case. But with the schematic table, it's at level 30. We're currently at like level 19 in cooking, so we still have a ways to go with that. I feel like I could just spam a bunch of cooking recipes, but there are some new cooking recipes that are supposed to give you like XP boosts when you're using it for like various things like lock picking and stuff like that. It doesn't look like I've got, well, I don't know. I guess I could go through all of these recipes and see if they, yes, okay, so this one here, carrot soup, says it gives you an XP boost to mechanical. It's like a double XP boost. Okay. Let me go through these and see if there's any of them that I can actually be useful. Oh, this one gives an XP to cooking. Huh. Okay, so level up your cooking faster by making vegetable fat. Mechanical. Driving. Alright, driving again. Okay, so let me just go through these and see which one I actually want to shoot for. The omelet looks really good and fairly easy to make. You just need eggs and a vegetable. Looks like you could use onions, broccoli, avocado, cheese, tomato, and it gives you an XP boost to electrical and lock picking. That one looks good. There's also this one called Michigan, which is a hot dog covered in saucy meat topping that's a specialty in Plattsburgh, New York. But you have to craft the sauce first and then craft this, but so you need the sauce, and it's made from garlic, canned tomatoes, and beef. I guess we got to go hunt some cows to make that. And then add a hot dog bun, the sauce, and onions to make this, but it gives you 5 different, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different XP boosts for that. So that's really good. It's a little bit of a complicated recipe, but it gives you a boost to construction, crafting, electrical, mechanical, and repair all at once. I think the lock picking is something I would like to level up more. So let me focus on that. Eggs. Let's see, the omelet. So that's going to make eggs and onions. I've got some onions, and I think I've got some eggs in here. I think we found some. Yeah, we got 1 egg tray. So we can craft that. Let me drop that into here, turn this stove on, and let's make an omelet. We can only make 1, but we'll turn the rest of this stuff into vegetable fat to get our cooking XP up. Actually, I'm wondering if I should do that first. Do the vegetable fat first. Let's eat it to get the XP boost, then craft the omelet so we'll get more XP for it, and then we can use it to increase our lockpicking the next time we're out looting. We got the schematic table, all of our schematics read. Let me put up I did already. We got our new ore crusher. We got our new forge. We got a lot done in this episode. A fairly short amount of time, too. I can turn this off. I got all of my aluminum ingots out of there. I am still crafting charcoal in here and refined charcoal there. But I feel like that's pretty good progress for this episode, guys. We're going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, and we'll see you on the next one.